When simple violence isn't quite enough, these players are the ones you need on your roster. In this video, we're going to talk about Nazem Kadri with his career-ending hit on Tommy Wingels. Tom Wilson, who adores in the art of breaking jaws and causing concussions. And of course, we're going to talk about Brad Marchand, because he's just Brad Marchand. And we're also going to talk about a couple more players who we deem as dirty in today's NHL, but of course, they aren't quite as bad as they used to be. I'll put it that way. Number 10, Cory Perry of the Chicago Blackhawks. We're not talking about him on the Oilers yet. He hasn't played a game. Facing off against Cory Perry is like trying to hit a mole in the old whack-a-mole arcade game. The 2003 first-round pick employs an aggressive style of hockey, often resorting to an unsavory stick work by hacking and whacking opponents at every opportunity he gets. You'll never find Cory Perry shying away from riling up opponents through verbal taunts, late and low hits, and though he may not be the best of all goal scorers, he definitely is the best at selling penalties. But let's be a little bit fair to Perry, alright? He once showcased exceptional offensive skills as a powerful forward. He made significant contributions in crucial moments for the Anaheim Ducks, Dallas Stars, and of course the Montreal Canadiens. He also has a pretty nice trophy showcase, winning the Stanley Cup, the Memorial Cup, OHL Championship, Olympics, the World Championship, World Cup, and World Junior. Even as he advances in age, Perry maintains a notorious reputation as a player you'd rather not face off in the playoff series, and apparently someone you don't want your mom to get close to. At some point, he is bound to be involved in a controversial hit or questionable play, leaving fans imploring referees for a call.
Down and just finally getting back to his feet. Yes, a right elbow by Cory Perry.
All jokes aside though, Cory Perry, he's a Perry nice guy. Number 9, we have Radko Gudas of the Anaheim Ducks. Hailing from Prague, Czech Republic, Radko Gudas entered the NHL as a third-round pick in the 2010 NHL draft by the Lightning. After stints with various franchises, including the Philadelphia Flyers, the Washington Capitals, Gudas signed a 3-year deal with the Florida Panthers, contributing significantly to the run in the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. He later had a very significant contract with the Anaheim Ducks. Throughout his career, Gudas has maintained a reputation for teetering on the edge of legality. His record includes multiple suspensions for continuous slashes and numerous hits that drew the NHL's disapproval, resulting in fines and a tag of being a dirty player.
Giroux trailing, Gudas, oh, the big hit by Radko on top.
His memorable celebration in front of Joseph Woll during the clinching Game 5 exemplifies his ability to be an irritating player, even without physically challenging opponents. And in recent times, Gudas has pledged to clean up his act, avoiding suspension since 2019. Nevertheless, he must address his history of dirty plays, earning some of the most significant suspensions in recent memory. While attempting to leave his past behind, Gudas still needs to demonstrate a consistent understanding of boundaries between clean and dirty plays each season. Now, number 8, Nazem Kadri on your Calgary Flames. Since being drafted in the 7th overall pick in 2009, Nazem Kadri has built a notorious reputation for delivering controversial hits. From a brutal elbow that steamrolled goaltenders, or from when he headhunted Nicholas Backstrom, he had dirty knees and targeted opponents. Kadri's aggressive style of play has resulted in a consistent rise in penalty minutes and ill-timed suspensions. One of the standout incidents in Kadri's rap sheet occurred on April 12, 2018 with a barbaric hit on Tommy Wingels.
Stops up, got sandwiched by Chara, and
this hit, capable of ending a career and causing some serious damage, added to his already extensive list of transgressions. Despite suspensions, including a 3-game ban for a dangerous hit on Jake DeBrusk in April 2019 and an 8-game suspension for an illegal check to the head of Justin Falk during the 2021 postseason, Kadri appears to have not fully learned his lesson. While undeniably talented, Kadri's inability to control his play on the ice has remained a significant limitation to top-end potential as a starting forward. At number 7, we got Evgeny Malkin of the Pittsburgh Penguins. A recurring theme on this list is the inclusion of top stars in the sport who have earned a reputation for playing dirty. Evgeny Malkin, though many of you might not even think about it, a Pittsburgh Penguins superstar for nearly 20 years, fits this profile. Despite his prolific scoring, Malkin has garnered attention for his questionable on-ice behavior. Recent suspensions, including a 1-game penalty in 2019 for high sticking and a 4-game suspension from 2022 for an ugly cross-check on Matt Borowiecki, highlights Malkin's tendency to be loose with his stick. He engages in nasty slashes, hacks, and cross-checks against opponents, occasionally involving questionable hits that often go overlooked due to his scoring prowess. While the Penguins may face challenges in the 2023-24 NHL season, it wouldn't really be surprising to hear about Malkin crossing the line and expressing his frustrations on opponents. Number 6. Another guy that the Flames fans just love. Matthew Kachuk of the Florida Panthers. Following his father's footsteps, Matthew Kachuk has embraced the role of a tough-as-nails power forward who pushes the game to its limits. Since entering the league, Kachuk has cultivated a reputation as a player who navigates the fine line between gritty and dirty, occasionally crossing into contentious territory. Having faced 3 suspensions, Kachuk is no stranger to the label of a dirty player. Despite recent efforts to control his physical game and avoid suspension-worthy hits, he still manages to attract negative attention. After an incident involving Toronto Maple Leafs starting goaltender Jack Campbell in the early 2020-21 season exemplifies how controversy seems to follow Kachuk, both of them.
Shoots, deflected in front, glove save, loose puck, they chop away, and Campbell's down on top of it for a whistle.
As the Los Angeles Kings defenseman Doughty remarked in a Sportsnet.ca interview in 2018, I'm pretty sure he might be the most hated player in the NHL. I have lots of friends on other teams and they don't love him either. His brother isn't any better, by the way. Number 5. Jacob Trouba of the New York Rangers. While suspensions are not the sole indicator of a player's treading the line between clean hockey and dirty hits, Jacob Trouba, the newly appointed captain of the New York Rangers, often hovers on that boundary without stepping into the realm of the league's officials' disapproval. The 2021-22 season cast Trouba into controversy when a hit on Jujhar Khaira resulted in the forward leaving the ice on a stretcher.
No. Oh, look out! Big hit! Oh, man. And,
This narrative persisted into the postseason, where Trouba's hits perceived as traditional hockey plays and by others as dangerous actions targeting vulnerable players fueled debate. Regardless of one's perspective on the matter, Trouba is poised to remain a lightning rod for this controversy. Every hit he delivers will be scrutinized. And if players continue to suffer injuries, every instance will be viewed through a different lens. Just think about the one high-sticking instance earlier this year that had everybody riled up. Number 4, Jamie Benn of the Dallas Stars. When inquiring about the league's dirtiest players, Jamie Benn's name constantly surfaces. Described as a player who seamlessly combines sneaky and outright dirty tactics, the Dallas Stars captain is known for slashes, cross-checks to the back, and an overall heavy-hitting approach reminiscent of the 1980s. While these actions may have contributed to short and long-term injuries, Benn has received only a handful of fines and no suspensions throughout his career. Notably, a cross-check to Dylan Larkin's neck left the forward in a cervical collar for 8 weeks. In the 2023 playoffs, Benn gained national notoriety for a clear cross-check to Mark Stone's head after he fell to the ice.
Play broken up as Jamie Benn will get it to center, and then Benn finishes off Mark Stone. He'll take a penalty.
This blatant act drew the league's ire, resulting in a rare 2-game suspension during the conference finals. Such incidents have propelled Benn up this list by showcasing his ability to skirt the line of legal play. While another suspension in his career seems very unlikely at this point, expect more controversy to surround him in the years to come. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't be a bender, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help the algorithm, help us grow, and back to number 3, Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers, also a former Calgary Flame, by the way. Violence is inherent in hockey, especially during lengthy postseason series where teams face off against each other multiple times in a short span. However, some players consistently find themselves entangled in controversy, earning a reputation for questionable hits. During the 2023 Stanley Cup final run, the Panthers gained recognition as a scrappy team unafraid to mix it up physically. Sam Bennett, a key player to this narrative, developed a reputation for exploiting the playoff leniency towards penalties, allowing him to push the boundaries on the ice. While occasional suspensions and fines have come his way, they have done very little to dissuade Bennett's questionable play. While some may view his actions as typical postseason intensity, an incident involving Matthew Knees, where the Maple Leafs rookie was concussed after having his head slammed onto the ice, crosses the line for many. As long as Bennett continues to be rewarded for such actions, serious and avoidable injuries may persist among opposing players. Number 2! You already know who it is. It's the Rat, Brad Marchand of the Boston Bruins. While the original Rat was Ken Linesman, Brad Marchand has also earned this title for his notorious playing style. Even the fervent fan base of the Boston Bruins, his own team, struggles to defend his actions at times. The undersized forward, standing at 5'9", plays on the edge with borderline hits, unorthodox behavior, incessant verbal taunts, and a penchant for licking opponents. Marchand is known for his dirty tactics, including clipping, slew-footing, elbowing, and spearing.
Paquette into it. Just there on the right of your screen with Bergeron.
Despite his stature, he packs more unsportsmanlike antics per pound than perhaps any player in NHL history. While valued as a first-line player and a crucial piece of the Bruins roster, now captain, Marchand remains an infamous player for his unsportsmanlike reputation, with little remorse for anyone on the ice. In recent years, the focus has shifted somewhat from his antics, but his label as a dirty player remains. Number 1, we have Tom Wilson of the Washington Capitals. Opinions on Tom Wilson are sharply divided. Either you despise him like I do, viewing him as a symbol of the NHL's perpetrated lack of concern for player safety, or you're basically just a diehard Capitals fan. Over the years, Wilson has broken jaws, caused concussions, and earned multiple suspensions for a playing style rife with controversy.
Panarin down low for Buchnevich. He was tied up. Oh, Van Riemsdyk with a terrific play on Buchnevich. Now that...
As a polarizing repeat offender, his career has been marked by targeted hits to opponents' heads and late-game aggression, consistently drawing scrutiny. While he briefly avoided negative headlines, Wilson reverted to his contentious playing habits back in the 2020-21 season. A 5-game suspension for boarding Brandon Carlo, his 5th suspension, was followed by a high-profile scum with Pavel Buchnevich and Artemi Panarin. This incident left Rangers star injured and sparked widespread debate about the apparent danger in Wilson's play. In essence, there exists a gap between what the NHL claims to permit on the ice and what they actually tolerate. With Wilson in the league, he navigates this gap, managing to evade severe consequences while jeopardizing the health of his fellow players. If you're in for more NHL content, leave a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comment sections if you have the power to introduce a new NHL rule. What would it be? And how do you think it would positively influence the game?